Hey guys, you are hanging out with the Wizard. So, did an episode a couple weeks ago about dreams and sleep paralysis, and from that, I was challenged to start making videos talking about some of the dreams and sleep paralysis experiences that I've had. So, here we go. So, this is probably one of the most profound ones that I had several years ago. And with dreams, it seems like they never really have an actual beginning or an actual end. You just are kind of there in the middle of it. So with this one, I was there in this old French building and was going up this set of it's like this spiral staircase that went up this tower into kind of this big open loft area where there was a lot of old like wrought iron type artwork and drafting tables. And there was this man who, tall, gray hair, he was wearing this tweed suit. And he says, "Hey, I've got somebody that I need to introduce you to." So, walks me over, and standing behind one of these drafting tables is this short, probably like maybe no more than like 5'3" to 5'5", and everything that he's wearing is like black and silver, and it's very like, I don't even know what era. I want to say maybe like 14th, 15th century. And it's got like this kind of regalness about him, but not really royalty, so to speak. So the man in the tweed suit starts talking to me and tells me, "Hey, you know, this guy wants to talk to you, but he only speaks French. So I'm here to interpret." So this was the weird thing about the dream, was the fact that like most of the time when you have dreams, like you're just communicating back and forth with random people or sometimes random things. No problem at all. But this one, for some reason, there had to be a third party to interpret, because everything that this shorter guy was saying was all in Old French. So we get to talking, and starts asking me a lot of personal questions about my life, what it is that like I'm doing for like my career and whatnot at the time. And at some point he tells me, "Well, we need to have a serious conversation about branding." I'm like, "Okay, well, what do you got in mind?" He says, "Okay, well, like, if you were going to choose an animal to represent yourself, what would you choose?" And at that time, I was thinking the phoenix. Powerful animal, like, rises from the ashes. And he says, "No, you're not the phoenix." He says, "I'm going to draw up something for you, and I want you to pay close attention." And he draws this picture of, it's a two-headed vulture. He says, "Let me tell you a story about who it is exactly you are." And I actually wrote a song about this a long time ago that nobody ever heard. I think we played it like live maybe once or twice. He says, so the story goes like this. So you have this lion who is supposedly the king of all of the animals in the animal kingdom. And at this point, he's taken over all the jungles, taken over all the forests, taken over all the plains. Only place he hasn't conquered yet is the desert. So wanders off into the desert and comes in with his armies and whatnot, and he's there to take over. First thing he comes across is there's like this old dead tree, and there's this vulture up in the tree. And so lion stops and talks to the vulture. Says, "Hey, it's like, I am the lion. I am the king of all of the animals in the animal kingdom. Bow down and kneel, and you'll be spared." And the vulture just kind of laughs. It's like, "I don't know who you are or where you came from, but this is the desert. It's like, nobody bows down and kneels to anything out here. You come in here with that attitude, you're going to get yourself killed real quick." And the lion, being the lion, it's like, "How dare you disrespect me, blah, blah, blah." And so the vulture's like, "Well, I'm not going to like sit around and listen to this. Like, you flap your gums all you want, but I got better things to do," and flies off. So a little while goes by, and this lion and this vulture wind up crossing each other's paths again. This time, Lion's army is about half of what it was, and everybody in the army is, well, obviously kind of worn down from the desert and having a hard time, struggling, and they can't find food or water at this point. And Lion's being the lion again says, hey, it's like, I am the king, I am the sovereign, you will bow down, you will respect me, you will tell me where to get provisions for my armies, otherwise you're going to regret the day that you were ever born. And Vulture once again was like, I don't have to do shit for you. Like, this is the desert. Like, half your army's gone already. The other half's going to be gone soon enough. Like, if you want to be chill, it's like, you want to be cool, you want to talk to me like an equal, I can help you out. But as long as you want me to bow down and kiss your ass, I'm not sticking around for this. So Vulture flies off again. So, while passes, and Lion and the Vulture, they cross paths again. So, Lion this time is just emaciated, dying of thirst. All of his army is gone. And he's begging and pleading with the Vulture now, saying, but he's still maintaining that, like, I am the king. It's like, as your king, you must tell me what I need to know in order to be able to get the food and get the water and the supplies that I need in order to survive. And the Vulture's like, seriously, look at you. Your army is gone. You're almost dead. Why are you still carrying this on? Just treat me as your equal, and everything will be cool. I'll help you find food. I'll help you find water. It's like, we can be in this together. And the lion still insists. Like, no. It's like, I am the king. You will treat me as such. And the Vulture's not having it. So, Lion tries chasing after the Vulture, trying to show him who's boss. And, of course, Vulture keeps flying out of reach. And eventually the lion drops down dead. And guess what happens once the lion drops down dead? Well, the Vulture now has a nice fat meal. And as he's eating this lion, looks at the dead lion in the face and says, well, who's king of all the animals now, bitch? And so this French guy who dressed in all black told me, it's like, yeah, this is your animal. It's like, you are not a phoenix. You're not meant to crash and burn and keep rising again. It says you are the Vulture. You are meant to thrive when everything else is crumbling and dying. So then he told me a little bit about his story. Says that his story was he was alive during the rise of the merchant class in France. And back in the time that he was alive, he said, you are either born into royalty or you shoveled shit. But once there started to become this powerful merchant class, then there was a way to be able to kind of bridge the gap. And it became a big thing for these powerful merchant families to try to see if they could marry off one of their daughters into a royal family. And that's how you became royalty and got stakes and lands and whatnot. So he found a niche market where his thing was that he would kind of coach these families that wanted to basically sell their daughters off to royal families and teach them what they needed to know in order for their daughters to get accepted into these courts and eventually get married off. Well, he said his downfall was that he took a contract from a family that said that they would do absolutely anything to get their daughters married off. And apparently they meant absolutely anything. So, and he said typically the way that he worked was half of his fee was paid up front, the other half was paid after the marriage was consummated. He says, well, they paid him the half up front, but then apparently poisoned his bed sheets, were poisoning his bed sheets over a period of time so that he wound up dying at a young age before he could ever collect on the other half. So, yeah, that dream was quite the trip. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Or you can always respond from the Seekers Council page at www.seekerscouncil.com. We stream live on Sundays at 5 p.m. Mountain Time from the Seekers Council Facebook page. So make sure you guys tune into that and get all your questions about love, life, and the universe answered. Rock on. See you next time.